You've just entered the No Delusion Zone. I'm David D'Abato. Today, I'd like to talk about a recent meeting between the American ambassador to Ukraine, Bridget Brink, and Ukrainian President Zelensky. Before their meeting, Ambassador Brink was asked a series of questions by one of the Ukrainian media, the Kyiv Independent, which is an English language media platform in Ukraine. And it was pretty much focused on American support for Ukraine, about weapons, about the incursion into Kursk, a future outcome of the elections in November, and related topics. But look, I just want to say at the outset, I understand that all ambassadors are ambassadors. They are representatives of their governments, and therefore they are not free to say just whatever comes to their mind. They cannot freely express their own personal opinions. I get that, and that's how it should be. However, when ambassadors blatantly insult people, blatantly insult, in this case, Ukraine and the West, it really upsets me. And this administration, as much as any in the past, has a habit of insulting Ukraine, has a habit of insulting Americans. When all they do is spout talking points, they dance around the facts, they don't answer the questions directly, and take us all for idiots. I, for one, don't consider myself to be an idiot. Sometimes I can act like one, but usually I'm not. And when a person like Ambassador Brink treats us as one, it really pisses me off. And so I'm going to just go through a very brief exchange that the Kyiv Independent had with Ambassador Brink, and maybe you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. The Kyiv Independent at one point basically asked Ambassador Brink about American support for a victory in Ukraine over Russia. Not just everlasting support, not a for as long as it takes, but does the United States still, although they really never have articulated still, but does the United States still support the Ukrainian victory over Russia? And this was the answer from Ambassador Brink. Look, our position has been very clear as articulated by the president, as articulated by Secretary Blinken when he was just here last week in Kyiv. We support Ukraine and its victory in its win over Russia aggression. That is unadulterated bullshit. Until this statement, and perhaps one that I missed very, very recently, the United States has never articulated its support for Ukrainian victory over Russia. They have stated 1 million or so times that they support Ukraine for as long as it takes. Whatever that means, no matter how many Ukrainian casualties there are, no matter how much of Ukraine is destroyed. That's pretty much what the United States has supported. So when she says we now support the Ukrainian victory over Russia, that's something new. And it's an insult because she's never said that before. The United States, specifically President Biden's administration, has never said that. And that was wrong. It's wrong then, it's wrong now. Then the Kyiv Independent went on to what is on most people's minds today that are following this war at all, and that's whether or not the United States is finally going to officially authorize Ukraine to fully use all of the long-range weapons at its disposal to attack targets deep within Russia, to attack those targets that are targeting Ukraine, that are killing Ukrainians, men, women, children, that are attacking schools, hospitals, maternity wards, apartments, houses every day from targets deep within Russia that Ukraine cannot reach because the United States, among other Western allies, have not given them permission to use the long-range weapons that they have in their possession. So again, the Kyiv Independent asked Ambassador Brink, should we be hopeful about a change in the U.S. policy on allowing Ukraine to use long-range missiles on Russian territory? Ambassador Brink, I'm not going to get ahead of where my president and administration are. We have heard the request. I can tell you that we will continue to support Ukrainians in your effort to fight against Russian aggression. We will continue to adjust and adapt and how we are supporting you, and we will work really closely. And we are working very closely with your government and administration in order to achieve that goal. Again, unadulterated bullshit. I hate when officials, specifically ambassadors, make such language, dance around the facts, and actually lie. Yeah, they're working really closely with Ukraine and ignoring all of their requests for the last 2.5 years for more ammunition, for F-16s, for M1s, for ATACMS, for HIMARS, for long-range weapons that will actually help them defeat Russia and defend themselves. Yeah, they've heard Ukraine and they've ignored them. So yeah, they're working really closely and just as closely ignoring their requests. So when they say things like that, it really makes my blood boil, pisses me off again, and it's killing Ukrainians. If I was Ukrainian, I can't imagine how I would take hearing news like this. Although at this point in the war, they're kind of numb to hearing this, not to mention hearing the bombs and missiles explode every day. So this is nothing new to them. And it's up to people like me who are not being bombed every day to get angry at this and to put it out there on the internet so everyone can see what bullshit this is coming from the ambassador to Ukraine, the representative of American Secretary of State Antony Blinken. It's unbelievable. I mean, it really is. After all this time, after all the casualties, all the deaths, all the misery, all the suffering, all the destruction of Ukrainian infrastructure, that they are still saying the tales like this, that they are still talking around in circles and just cannot answer a straight question. And of course, still haven't given permission for the Ukrainians to use the long-range weapons from America, specifically now, that they already have in their possession. It's disgusting, and it's a betrayal. It's a betrayal of Ukrainians by America. And I'll leave it there for today because I think you kind of understand where I'm coming from. So that's it for today, and I'll end this as I always do. Please take care, stay safe, and by all means, stay sane. Folks, if you liked the video that you just saw, I'd like to ask you a favor. Please hit the subscribe button in the lower part of your screen so I can make more of these kinds of videos. More videos that expose the incredible amount of lying, duplicity, and utter bullshit that goes on at government levels all over the world, whether it's here in the United States, in Europe, and most certainly in despotic dictatorships such as Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea. I pull no punches, as some of you know that have watched my videos. I call it like I see it, whether it's in my own country, with whatever political party happens to be the idiot of the day, or in other countries. And I will continue to do that. I will try to be a voice of not only reason, but of common sense and sanity in an internet and a social media world full of delusional crazies. So again, if you like what I say, if you like my opinions, if you like what I'm trying to do, please hit the subscribe button. And if you really like what I say, please buy me a cup of coffee on buymeacoffee.com. If you go to my main channel, my homepage of my channel here on YouTube, you'll see how to do that. And I'll make more of these provocative, in-your-face videos. Again, thank you. Please hit subscribe, perhaps buy me a coffee. And as I always say, take care, stay safe, and by all means, stay sane.